I bumped into Ricardo here on the IBM booth at Distributech. And Ricardo, we were chatting earlier. We're talking about sustainability and sustainably electrifying industries. And you said to me, it's the biggest thing we have to do in our world today, but it has to make business sense. So all of these solutions behind us have to make business sense. You're out there selling this stuff to the utilities. Explain?
Well, my observation is that we serve utilities. Utilities has business problems of worker safety, of they need to improve processes, they need to, it's a bidda.
Check out costs,
it's a bidda. It's complying with regulation, all these things. Now we have ways to address these opportunities or problems that we didn't have 15 years ago because of cloud, IoT, etc., and artificial intelligence, etc. We create things that are solutions for this: vegetation management, using blockchain to provide better flex energy, cognitive contact center, outage management, prediction, using the weather, all these elements.
Yeah.
They make business sense in itself.
True.
Okay. And to do this, I didn't have to start by saying I need to do sustainable things. No, I started.
There was business value in these things.
I started because they have business value. Now, looking at them all together, I say, but all of them, coincidence or not, all of them deliver business value, and all of them have an impact on any of the sustainability development goals.
The SDGs.
Many of them address carbon reduction. Many of them address improving a circular economy. Many of them, but I observe it. This was not the starting point. And then I see that maybe this means that sustainability objectives are already, let's say, pulling the need for these solutions. And then I also observe them all together and said, they also have common characteristics.
Yeah, you were mentioning this.
Lot of technology, etc. But all of them have the characteristics of using data in a masterful, I don't know the word in English, way, collecting them, orchestrating them, orchestrating them, and infusing them in workflows that are much better than before. Call it cognitive, intelligent workflows.
And this is where the oxygen is data is the whole
all of
point.
Them converges into that, and so it's not that we started saying we are going to develop solutions for a more sustainable future, but I see that, by the way, all of them address things that will bring us a more sustainable future, but they all individually made business sense. And all of them have in common that you need to be a master managing data. And then if you want the analogy, so there is the greatest fight that mankind has ever to do, the most complex systemic problem ever, where politicians, educations, public sentiment, global behavior has to change. But I want to say that at least from the industry perspective, and utilities are core in it, hey, we've got weapons. And all of these weapons have something in common, that the ammunition is data. So use your ammunition well, that's not easy. Use the weapons, these are solutions, and you will address, I think in the part that the utilities have to play, you will address your sustainability challenges.
And we were chatting earlier was that, like maybe 10, 15 years ago, people might say, well, should we try that and whatever, but because of the technologies, because of the cloud, because of AI, because of new storage technology, because we got new comms, new whatever, you can now orchestrate terabytes, gigabytes of data, petabytes, and be able to like the Weather Channel and the Weather Company, and because there's vast amount of data out there, but now we can start harnessing it. This is the what would you say, the ammunition to go off and do stuff.
And if you allow me, and there are things where IBM has to play a special role. Sometimes we are the adults in the room, because as you said, we can do great things. But an adult that is equally excited, but is more adult, says, yes, we can do it, but wait a second. When you say that you're going to take all this satellite data and put it all together and do correlations, wait a second, what are we talking about? We're talking about a lot of data that's not easy to move, that has to be secure, And just to say, no, we overlap of satellite data,
Drone
GIS data,
GIS, you name
etc.
it.
It's easy. Well, it's easy. I mean, you know that the world is round. It's not flat. Just try to put and synchronize all this data together that come in different moments in time, that come from different sources.
series.
It's not easy. So an adult have to say, yes, let's do it, but you will have to make choices because we can't do it's not economical.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. So there is an adult that, without cooling the excitement down, is to say, but let's do it with criteria.
It's bringing reality to it, and yes, you can. I've spent my entire career in the world of technology. Yes, we can do this. Yes, we could do it. Whether we should or not is a different thing in certain technologies. But it's a lot of time. Oh, it fixes this problem. I didn't know I had that problem. So it's back to kind of, it has to bring business value.
Exactly.
It has to make sense.
That's the fundamental metric. It's not sustainable if it's not if it doesn't have a good business case. It's not sustainable. So many times we are like, here comes IBM again saying, but it depends. No, it depends. No, I mean, make the maths, look for it. Yes, it's possible, or it's that difficult. Let's make decisions, and it's business decisions. But again, we say it, we adults, but we say it with a smile because there are possibilities and there are weapons.
I honestly believe as I said, technologies will help us overcome the challenges we've dug for ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's not just a technology play. It has to make business sense, socially acceptable, political will, whatever. So it's going to be an interesting couple of years.
Exactly. And then also something I think also nothing to do with it, but as I describe these things like projects that we do for this industry, this industry also needed something maybe we didn't have in the first decade of the century. We didn't have engaging and exciting stories that would engage the millennials, etc. But now when you tell, hey, what you can do with electric vehicles, social media, charging, putting all this aggregation through a retailer, Flix Energy,
it's a better story.
It's a better story. We always have to, and I'm the first one to respect the difficult part of this industry, that is the reality of the physics.
You got to keep the lights on.
No, and it's not easy. It's a miracle.
Incredible.
It's a miracle.
It's the most complex system on the planet.
I studied all the equations and I still say that there's a miracle. But it's true that there are now new things. It's just vegetation management. Okay, this is tree trimming. It's been done for all life. But if you describe to someone that's not from the industry, a young graduate, you tell, you know what we can do? We can take images from different sources, satellite images, etc. Maybe complement with LiDAR. You can do like this, and you basically do modeling or forecasting of trees, species, etc.
Preemptive maintenance.
And then with accuracy of or with a probability of so much, we can say that, hey, you go there because also the risk, and you. It's much. It's great.
It's like science fiction for some.
But it's beautiful. It's beautiful.